Okay, so Gabriela, we yesterday had a mushroom ceremony at Temple Quillermillo. So tell me, what was your insights?
For me, I truly experienced the art of dying. Like, I definitely felt it activate with the bufo that I'd had months ago, and the mushrooms worked together, these plants. I felt what it felt like just to be. The way I can explain it is just to be eyes and just to see, but not to feel. My complete body. I had no heartbeat. I had.
But you're still aware,
I was aware.
completely aware.
All I had was awareness.
Just
There was
awareness. So you disappeared completely.
disappeared. There was no physical matter. I was just awareness. So I knew it kind of took me right back to where I started, my soul beginning
Source.
from the source, from the source, right from the source, because it was all white light.
How is that world, or how you describe it? Or?
It was, it my 3D kept coming in like this is like I knew what was happening, like this is what death is, and it was kind of and then but when you're actually in it, it's so peaceful, but it was like polarity because when I kind of shift my ego shift and go, well, I was like, and then it'd come in waves where then the shadow would come in. It was like almost like a wave of darkness would come over, and it was like
so you can see it. So you can see it. The motion, what is behind.
Yeah.
That every time you feel that, there's a darkness taking control over.
And it come over, and it was almost like it just came out of like from behind me, and it went whoosh, and it was like very, and it just kind of like it was like a wave, like a tidal wave, just came over me, went whoosh, and then I just plummeted into darkness. And then that's when the emotion, it was like, and it was time to release. And it just felt like dark energy just coming out. And I was like...
And so you really felt that it was coming out something?
It was like physical, like an entity leaving my body. Like an entity, that's what I could say. And the noises and the voices that I could hear in my head was like... And it was like it was like a monster.
I heard that before. Yes, I heard that.
Did you
that
hear
yeah. We all have that, but when we
possessed. It was like I was possessed. It was like a very dark. And this morning I started to interpret, thinking, was I like a bad witch, or was I had like some dark energies that maybe my past life, that's something that I'd done bad in one of my lives? I don't know. Or was it just the pain of my lineage that I was literally my grandparents, my you know, all the women in my family. I was healing that. And it was all coming out because I felt a lot connected to my foot. Because it's like my divine feminine, and it was like the wound. I was healing this wound. But that very felt connected to the foot at one point, and then it would come into waves and then light again, and then there was the point by the rock when I went into darkness again, which is when I saw like the eagle come over the top. But I think it was because the sun was coming over the top, so it gave me the vision of like the white head of the eagle. You know, they have the white crown, and that's kind of what I saw. And I saw like the eyes, and then that's when I was like, you know, after Chris had left, and that was when it went really like, and I felt like I was, I felt like a vessel, that it wasn't to do with me, that I was purely the physical vessel for my soul.
You were channeling both dark light, and you were like a vessel, and just could observe.
It had nothing to do with me. It was like I was just
collective.
Yeah, it was. I was just a vehicle. My soul was working with the plants, and it had nothing to do with me. Like I had no say.
You
what was
were
happening.
feeling that the plants were working with your soul.
Yeah, and that my soul had, like, I wasn't connected to my soul. My soul was just doing its own thing that it needed to do to clear itself. Like I was just the body that was facilitating what was happening for my soul.
I see. It's like a place to recharge or to renew or to...
Yeah, it was like, right, we need to clear all this. This is thousands and thousands of years of shit that we need to clear. And then I had... I can't remember in what order. I'm just remembering what I can, and that was when I felt like there was a time when I would just lay there, and I knew that I could just see multicolours. It was all different colours, and it was like I remember seeing like, you know, like cogs, like in a watch, like they're the things that tick round, and it was all like math, like geometry, like kind of, and it was all when I just laid there, and I knew that energetically they were going through me, and they were like shifting things,
you were
changing things, and
that's one of the goals that I was explaining you, that we got to go into this kind of state that you feel that there is some kind of changes in energy level.
Yeah,
you know,
sure. That kind of went on. What else I've got written here? I also.
Wow, magnificent report, huh? Keep going.
So for sure, the solar plexus, my navel. I knew that before I came out here. I've been having pains in here for a long time, and I've been eating clean. I've been doing, a lot, and things weren't shifting. And energetically after it,
physically,
I felt like someone had, and in my sacral as well, because I've got a lot of pain in my womb,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like someone had just come out and just scraped all the darkness and just taken it out, because it felt so tender and sore. And even walking back down the mountain, I was like, oh, and there was energy shifting. And even this morning, I'm feeling like it's starting to feel a lot lighter. There's still
But
something
it's
in
still
there.
a little bit in the surface.
I can
Mm-hmm.
still feel something
Mm-hmm.
there, which I feel maybe that's going to come out today, or
Mm-hmm.
and that's a physical vessel. And for me to then to like summarize it, is it's really to open my eyes to, as a human being, like the complexity of our energy and what we can actually hold. Thousands of years of things that like has nothing to do with us. So like people walk around with such heavy energy that they have no idea what they're carrying, and they're walking around. You have no idea that you're walking around and you've got a bad back. Well, that's not a bad back. That's probably to do with
It's programming. It's cultural.
you know?
It's cultural programming, and they are just in a certain vibe. But it's amazing how we can observe both.
exactly.
Can observe both, right? Darkness, light.
And then remember the feeling of the darkness being a safer place.
So you get in a darkness, but you was fighting, and then you accept it.
Or to come back, like when the darkness, when it was when lying there and just being like not wanting to be in it. When I'm like 3 years old, when I was in the darkness, I was crying. It was easy to be like releasing that for some reason. It was like easier to be like in that state where I'm just crying and letting it go, because I was focusing on that than focusing on just being. If that makes any sense. It was just
totally, yeah.
I kind of felt like comfort in the dark.
Try to find the ground in this
Grounding in the
new
dark.
space, new unknown area.
And I just knew that I was, it just felt, and then obviously the jaw, I was like releasing like years of tension and like angst and I just,
So
like,
physically expand so much that you can feel physically.
I was in pain. But last night I was lying in bed and my face was like, even today I feel like there's a release of my face.
Could be.
Yeah, it was,
Wow.
yeah, super intense.
Wow. Well, you need that. This kind of experiences needs a lot of time, like to really understand every single thing. You know, it's just like a door.
I feel like what do I do with this now? I'm like, I was crying.
But it will come. You know, little by little if you walk properly.
Why am I doing this? I'm like, what do I achieve? I'm sat here and I'm gonna go do it again. I'm like, but why? Like. It's too like it's scary. It's scary.
I know, but that's the work of plants. Plants works in a mystery way, and you need to trust that they are like helping us to expand our limits. And sometimes they know better how to give you where, how much, or I don't know. Like yeah, perfect.
More than I can handle.
Yes, never is gonna give you more. You know, but in this way we expand our limits. We become stronger. You know, and we understand that darkness is part of us too.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so instead of just like repel darkness, we need like to embrace it and to be there, right? All right, perfect.